morning,
Friday.
but I got to mute
And
you
it is
guys.
Happy
We
Friday,
gotta
by
do
the
our
way,
intro.
Kathy. Thank you.
Oh,
okay. Hold
okay.
it. Hold it.
Time out.
All right, time out.
Let me do the run.
Do it, man. Oh, no, did you do the intro?
Do your intro.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and kick
Your
us off.
voice.
Go ahead and kick us off.
Your voice.
Live from Venturette Studios in Frisco, Texas. It's JP, Kathy, and the crew.
Hey, it's good morning time. It's Happy
There
Friday.
we go.
Kathy, you
Woo!
knocked off one of my hashtags already this morning. Way to go.
What was that?
I knew you were going to say Happy Friday, so I did hashtag Happy
Oh,
Friday.
You know me too well.
Chuckle.
You know me too well.
I do. Hey, while Kathy is going to tell you about what's coming up on Monday, I am going to
big
share the
show.
bejeebers out of this. It's
And
got,
hashtag bejeebers, another one.
well,
of
I
my
need
words.
to hashtag that bad dog.
But you don't know how to spell bejeebers.
Jeebers. That's my word.
Yes.
Thank you.
I thought
You did?
Bejeebers was Kathy seeing a clown.
Oh, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. No, I know you've got it, and I'm not looking. I'm not looking that way. Oh gosh, I can see it on the screen.
Oh, that's
Can we have
Bejeebers.
the-
I see
can we
it.
have
I
the
see
screen
it.
go to
There's
black?
Bejeebers.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, while professionals like Dr. Good wait, okay, this is clown, and it's Inside Out. Thank you so much, JP.
You're
okay, we're not having a
welcome.
replay of Wednesday's Clown
Well,
Mask
for now,
episode.
maybe.
I know. I'm very nervous about the Halloween season.
Oh, you should be nervous.
Very nervous. Great show today. We've got the sheriff from Fort Worth, Sheriff
Bill
Wayborn.
Wayborn. Yeah, there we go.
We've got Dr. Rebecca Good. We have got Lisa Chastain, who's coming in. She's going to be the co-host of a new show on the JP, Kathy, and the Crew Network. Dr. Dave. Are we going to be getting him live from the ER?
I'm not sure today. I know
Okay.
we're getting him
We're
live. I
either
don't know
getting
if we're getting
live
him live
with
from
Lily
the ER.
at home, his toddler, or the other.
That would be my phone.
Oh, I was like, I
sharing.
hear myself, and I don't like hearing myself.
I'm sharing.
But I'm glad the crew is okay with hearing me. So there we go. We've got a really important segment, JP, on Monday, and very excited to be partnering up with them. You will also be hearing from them most likely on Dr. Good's show as well. The Children's Advocacy Center of Collin County, and we just had a couple of ladies on the other day to talk about a fundraiser that is going to be happening in October. We'll be talking about that again here soon. But on Monday, we've got a really important 30-minute segment on child abuse during COVID. We know child abuse cases have gone up. We know substance abuse has gone up. My goodness, spousal abuse. There's all kinds of really, really bad things happening other than people getting the COVID itself. Child abuse is at an all-time high, but then reports on child abuse had gone down. We have got someone from the Advocacy Center coming in to talk about, now the kids are back partially in school, for sure online. How do you detect it online? If you're in a church, or you're a coach, or you're a scout leader, or you're some kind of a extracurricular activity leader of children, what do you look for? What are questions? What questions can educators and folks who are mentors and leaders to kids ask to make sure that they're okay? And then what do you do? Because legally, I remember back in the day, back in the 90s when I taught school and unfortunately had to contact CPS a couple of times, it was mandatory. It was, by law, I was required to do that. That is every adult. If you think there is any child abuse, you suspect it in the least bit, you are obligated to report that. So this is going to be a very, very important series we do with them, and just want to encourage you to tune in Monday and share that show with your friends, with anybody who has kids, because we have got we've got an important message to get out there, and we're hoping we are partnering with the Advocacy Center of Collin County, the Children's Advocacy Center, that we'll be able to get that message out and help save some lives, JP.
Absolutely.
I mean, at the end of the day, your call, or you're helping, you're intervening in a situation, maybe a kid's life you save.
Absolutely. We've got Dr. Good, and I'm not trying to knock that down at all.
Oh, no.
We've got
Go
Dr.
for it.
Rebecca Good calling in. She's a superintendent here in our public school system, and all-knowing educational expert. Is Dr. Good with us, Charles?
I am.
She should be.
So, Dr. Good,
morning.
sadly, we only have about
Guys,
four
can
or
you
5 minutes this morning.
Okay, I'm having trouble starting my video. Sorry.
That's
I
all
don't
right.
know why that is.
We've got your audio.
We can hear you. We just
Okay.
can't see your beautiful face.
Well, let
though.
me just get started. The commissioner talked about the governor's order. I'm sure you all were glued to the TV to watch the public health order number 30, which really did not do much except open more businesses that hadn't been allowed to be open yet to open up. It didn't have much effect for schools. The mask order is still very much in effect. A couple of things. One for you, actually, John. The deadline for coding kids as enrolled usually is 9:30. They bumped that to October 30th, the PEAMS snapshot date. And so,
Gotcha. I'll
we have
share
a-
that in my meeting this morning.
as you know, districts have had trouble getting kids to find this. All the kids, right? They're not coming online. So it's nice that we have an extra month to get that. I thought an interesting thing that TEA has done is they now have best practices for video learning. Due to all the Zoom bombings, they now have video on how to train teachers on how to limit that as much as possible, which I think is really cool. I mean, DEA has been very responsive. As we talked about last week, we learned about the Project Restore, which is mental health for both teachers and students. And I really shouldn't just say teachers, for educators, and for that eventually trickles down to the kids, because really the concept is we ourselves and we identify ourselves as reflecting on some of the things that we went through so that we can better understand and lead the kids to grit and perseverance. So now they have something to train teachers in how to limit the Zoom bombings.
I love that Zoom bombings. I mean, all these new words that did not exist before last March. It just cracks me up. We need a COVID dictionary.
Zuma.
It teaches teachers, and they have several of the different platforms. So they have, if you're using Google Classroom, you can learn on that one. If you're using Teams, if you're using Zoom, so they've been really good. I was amazed. It teaches teachers how to mute people, how to move out the disruptors. I just never saw that coming, so I'm impressed. And then I don't know if you remember, and I know I've talked about it several times, but gosh, there's been so much going on in public education that it's easy to forget. But the commissioner early on talked about the increase in now hoping that districts would take part in the school year additional days that was passed by HB3. And so if we are going to participate, i.e. if we are going to ask for that funding, for example, if I were to tap into it, which we definitely will, to ask for the additional days of school for the summer, it would give us the ability to pay teachers to work half days for up to 20 days.
Yes.
And do the work on the kids with that have the COVID slide. So you have to put your letter of intent in to participate. And then they talked a little bit about the CARES Act and equitable services, which thank goodness I've got a CFO for that. And it's very complicated, folks. They are not, there's no such thing as free money from the government, okay? You have to earn it by over evidencing the need that we needed for it, that we had for
Right.
it. One of the new things they talked about was the dashboard. They now have a dashboard on cases at school based on Texas School, and I'll put the link in the chat. And so far, what it shows is 0.2% of kids have gotten COVID in our Texas schools, and we've been open anywhere from 4 weeks to 7 weeks.
Right.
And so 0.1%. So we're doing pretty well. The schools are doing well. I think, again, we need to stop being so negative about school districts. We need to focus on the very positive things that have happened since COVID, and making sure now that we implement the safety COVID practices that we all wrote in our plan. That's our next work, right?
Right.
And so far, it's obviously worked out because we don't have that many kid COVID cases.
Which is good, which is really good.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk again about Project Restore in the sense that they're reminding us that that's not sort of something we can ignore. Senate Bill 11 has a requirement that we offer mental health to those that need it. And of course, in our case, not only our students, but our staff, they had stuff they went through. You know, many of our staff had kids who were trying to figure out how to be students at home while our teachers were working and had school-aged children and were worried about COVID. They had so much going on. And so having the ability to have resources that are free and at their fingertips is, it's nice to know and nice to have. Right. And then the other thing they talked about were state assessment deadlines. Some of you may remember that the state has their own online curriculum now, and it's got beginning of the year assessments, it's got end of the year assessments, and so districts have until next week, I believe, to say whether they're going to use it, and if they're not going to use it, then those districts' parents can use it for their own use.
Okay. Well, and again, I'm so glad you were reiterating Project Restore and the mental health component. That's something we can't let people forget about, and I'm really glad the TEA they have the TEA, and I know you've been really good to give them props. They have done a lot of things right during COVID.
They have. They've been very responsive, and in ways, who would have thought that they'd come up with the best practice videos for. And I called Zoom bombing like we used to use the word Xerox, right? Which we really shouldn't do, but for the video hijacking that so many people, and it's not only kids, adults do it too. And so,
oh yes,
being able to train our teachers in how to handle that,
well,
that's a neat perk.
Dr. Good, we're going to have to cut the interview short this morning because we got started a little bit late because we've got Sheriff Bill Waybourn on the line with Tarrant County. But cannot thank you enough for all of the information that you provide and updates you provide educationally and for your great show on Sundays at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, and I appreciate that. Matter of fact, we're going to have a very special guest on Sunday, and that is our own JP. He is bringing.
Oh no!
He is bringing his experience. Well, what's sort of neat about this guy is that he's getting around not only to Texas but other states and finding out what's going on in the field there, and he's able to bring that and share and let us, what's going on in other places.
So it's a must-see show on Sunday.
It is 8 a.m. right here on the JP Kathy and the Crew Network.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. See you next week.
All right, have a
love
blessed
you, Dr.
day.
Good.
All right,
You
we
too.
now
Bye-bye.
have joining us Sheriff Bill Waybourn out of Tarrant County. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. How guys? How are y'all doing?
Good morning,
Good.
Sheriff.
Now, Sheriff, I'm going to tell you, with all the protesting, rioting, and all the craziness, how did you guys handle that in Fort Worth? Because you guys did a great job. Like, I did not see any bad press. I saw law enforcement coordinating with each other. And so, Sheriff, tell me, how did all that go through? How did you guys do it? And what a great job you did.
Well, you were absolutely correct. Is all the law enforcement agencies coordinated with each other from the state, the county, and the local level. And then we were able to actually coordinate with the peaceful protesters and certainly protected their due process and their right to do that. And at the first sign of upheaval of some of the agitators, they were simply, we were able to corral them and arrest them when appropriately. And that's what we did. We just, there was no putting up with nonsense. And you immediately take action, and then that immediately went down. And we had numerous peaceful protests that went on, and I applaud those people. They came out, stated what they needed, and went home.
You know what I loved, Sheriff, is the fact that I didn't see any outcries out of Tarrant County on, hey, we were improperly arrested. They used rubber bullets on us. They used canisters of gas on us. You didn't hear that out of Fort Worth. And so my hat's off to you for a wonderful job in handling that.
Well, I applaud Fort Worth PD that they did a great job, and we were honored to assist them. They made some crucial decisions at crucial times early on, and it panned out really well for us.
It really did. Sheriff, we really appreciate the fact, again, that y'all are on top of things. You're not hearing a lot of negative things. People are frustrated. Unfortunately, in other parts of the country, not the same. We're hearing all of these threats coming from all over the country about election night. Whether President Trump wins or loses, I personally think there will be issues whichever way you look at it. What are y'all doing proactively to handle, let's say President Trump is reelected and it's decisive on election night, and there have been threats that violence will be happening in the streets, people will be coming into people's neighborhoods, and there have been threats made all over the place. What are y'all doing ahead of time to plan, this is crazy, but for election night?
Well, we are planning, and we're coordinating with local folks and businesses along with other agencies. We are getting together what resources that we may need, and we're preparing operational orders for that event, and making sure that we're ready to go and to meet any challenge that may be there. And I'm confident that that'll happen.
So, as we go forward, Sheriff, did you think in your time you would ever see anything like this? I mean, the looks of Portland, the looks of Seattle, and then the threat that it might creep up 35 from Austin, Texas, for goodness sakes, into Fort Worth and Dallas. Did you ever think in your lifetime?
Well, I never thought I would see anything like this in my lifetime. What we see out on the West Coast going on, and the police chiefs throwing up their hands and resigning, which I understand that, and the issues going down in Austin, and never thought that I would see things like we're seeing today, outrageous things of defund the police and
seriously, Did you ever think in your whole entire career in law enforcement, and when you were becoming a law enforcement officer, that you would be hearing the term over and over and over from the media, defund the police, and from elected officials?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's a whole new ball game. And in our research of intelligence of what's going on and who the people are that are doing this, we have to understand how they're doing it. And we do have a socialist movement going on in this country, whether we like it or not.
You're right, sir.
And
we do. One
of the things that you do is you try to erase history. You try to change the culture, and the first thing you do to change the culture is defund the police. And they think it's an outrageous statement, and they made it, and they have people biting on it.
Yeah, you're right.
So, Sheriff, let's change gears just a little bit. We've got election season coming up, and we see a lot being said about the president, a lot being said about state representatives. Do we see a big change politically coming in North Texas?
I don't think so. I think that our state representatives, our county officials, and folks running for federal office are working hard. I see them out there working hard. I think the silent majority is going to rise up in North Texas, and we're going to be fine on election night. I think there's a lot of people out there that are fed up with some of the things that we've seen on the West Coast and the East Coast, and they want to make sure that rule of law stays here in Tarrant County.
Boy, amen.
Amen to that. Amen, Sheriff. It's interesting you mentioned the silent majority. JP and I, we were meeting with a buddy of ours yesterday, and he knows both JP and I are political, and he said, hey, I'm still at the same address, but I haven't voted in 8 years. I definitely want to get out and vote. And there's more and more people like that. As Victory Chair here in Collin County, I've got folks who are requesting yard signs who, these are, a lot of them are retired, and they've said, I've never put out a yard sign before. I want one now. What do I do? How do I get one?
Absolutely. And on my personal campaign, I cannot keep up with the requests for signs.
And you got to love that.
I do indeed. And I think that we're going to have a lot of people come out and vote. like I said, I think that we're going to see independents and conservative Democrats say enough is enough.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
So let me shift us now over to the jail part of all this. You know, we talked earlier in the year about COVID-19 and how you guys have been handling it at the Tarrant County Jail. How are things going now? Are you guys able to keep this thing under control with the inmates and not allow it to spread? And what are your COVID-19 numbers kind of looking like?
Today, and I expect a positive report today where it'll be less than this, but right now we only have 10 COVID cases in the jail. We have a 4,200 person population.
Oh, that's
and
fantastic.
We have those 10 isolated, being treated by John Peter Smith Hospital, which, by the way, that hospital, a lot of people don't realize that was rated the #1 hospital in the United States.
Oh my!
Really? I
didn't know that.
Absolutely, and the folks over there are incredible. So we have 10 right now. We have them isolated. They're doing well. None of them critical. And I think by the end of the day or end of the weekend, we might be down to single digits, and we're excited to hopefully get out of this in a couple of weeks.
Fantastic.
What do the guidelines look like in the jail, Sheriff? Because you've got the model of success. What do your guidelines look like in the jail to where you've been able to keep it like this?
Well, what we have tried to do, and sometimes with this population rising up, it's gotten more difficult, is that what we try to do is with people coming into the jail, they're triaged medically right off the bat to see if they're ill at first. And if they are, they're immediately isolated. And then we did what we call a classification pods, where we ship them off to isolate them in pods. And if you came into the jail today, you'd be isolated and alone for about 14 days to make sure that the group you came in with, your class, if you will, was free of COVID, so they wasn't mixing with general population. And that's been a very successful thing.
Well, I can tell you this. I know that I appreciate all you've done in Tarrant County for the citizens of that area and for North Texas, and continuing to be a beacon of light for organization and the rule of law.
Yeah, just a great leadership, a leadership model. You know, you're not out there speaking ill of others. And again, you even said it first thing when you came on our show today. Hey, if somebody wants peaceful protest, hey, we're going to help them out. Law enforcement's going to be out there helping them out in the Tarrant County area. But then, thank goodness, you put your foot down when people cross that line and they do break the law. And we just appreciate you so much for keeping all our members of the crew in Tarrant County safe and sound.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to try to do every day.
Now, Sheriff, did you want to leave our listeners with anything? I mean, you know, we bring you on, we harass you, we harangue you. We never ask you if you have anything you'd like to just say.
Do you want to have it? Do you have any comments?
Well, thank you. I would say that if anybody would like to be a part of my campaign, they can go to bill@billwayburn.com or billwayburn.com and certainly assist there. But secondly, keep especially our detention officers in your prayers and thoughts. It is very tense over there. We have a large population. It's a very ill population. You know, I mean, the people in our jail are, even the inmates are very stressed. So we're doing things about that. So that's sometimes a very difficult job.
All right.
We will
Well, I have something to
absolutely
say.
keep
I
them
think
in
he's got
their
that.
prayers.
Who's that country singer? That voice, you get that real deep voice like that country singer. I'm trying to
Well, you
remember
just
who it
named
is.
9 country singers.
No, he's very patriotic. He's got a great.
Oh, you're talking about Trace Atkins?
There you go, Trace Atkins. He's got that Trace Atkins
You know what,
voice.
Sheriff, you do have a little bit of that Trace Atkins voice going, which is a good thing,
Well,
especially in law
I'm
enforcement.
a big fan of Trace, so
It's a
that's
Love
good.
it.
Thank you.
It's a comforting voice. I
Love
have to
it.
say.
Now, Bill, I'm going to warn you. Kathy may have you do a concert because she hasn't done a
I was gonna
concert
say,
in a long
So
time.
next time you come on the show, can we do a little karaoke?
Yeah.
Trace
Well,
Atkins.
if I start singing, your viewers will not come back.
Well,
He's
we'll
one
make
of our positive person experience.
There
right
you
there.
go. Well, hey, we will put our your campaign information on our Facebook Live link and on our YouTube link and all social media. And we just appreciate you so much. And God bless you. And yes, we will be praying for your safety, for the safety of your officers and all of the officers across the great state of Texas and this great country, because they need to be lifted up in prayers right now more than ever.
And just real quick before you head off, just give you some comments from the crew. We have several police officers, of course, that are on, and retired police officers that are on our stream all the time. And they say, God bless you. They say that if there was one department I'd work for in North Texas, it would be the Tarrant County Sheriff's Office because of how things are run. And so these are some of our NYPD brothers that have come down here to get out of that liberal state and they're conservative. And so I think hats off to you, Sheriff.
Well, I'm humbled by those comments, and would be honored to be in their midst.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And Sheriff,
God bless
we
ya.
want to get you back on again. So hopefully don't be a stranger. All right.
No, I'd love to come back on. Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Sheriff
care.
Bill Wayburn, Tarrant County, out there in the Fort Worth area, taking care of all of Tarrant County, Arlington, and HEB area and all of that, Kathy. It's just busy.
Well, and you know, I think what he said about lifting the officers up in prayer, that is more important now than ever. You know, you see more posts on social media, at least on our feeds, because we are people who back the blue and back our law enforcement and our military, where people are just asking, hey, you know, my husband went out today, or my wife's out patrolling tonight, and can you pray for him?
Right. Absolutely. Charles, can you bring my screen up, please?
You want me to do that?
Yeah, please, if you would. I want to show Kathy something. She
So
needs
where
to
are we
see
at
this.
here? Let's see.
Oh no.
She has to
It's
see
not a
this.
clown.
Oh,
Oh,
bring in the
wait,
clowns.
wait.
Here we
Oh, I
go.
can't. I thought I was gonna try to
Thought
throw
we
it
were
up
gonna
there.
have a
but-
nice
Oh, were you?
Friday.
Well, just show everybody. Everybody'd like to see this.
No.
Here we go.
We really want to see this.
Yeah, we do. It's
I
time. We want to see. We want Kathy to panic.
Oh, it's Peeps.
It's Peeps time,
y'all
Kathy.
you were messing with me,
I
JP.
was.
Look at all those beautiful
Look at
Peeps.
these, Kathy. I found them for you to
Thank
make
you.
you
Dimmed your
smile.
peeps, huh?
Peeps images. Except, you know what? Now, hopefully, they'll be back up and running by Easter.
Well, look how cute they are. They
Oh,
even have their
I
little
love
eggs.
them.
You see their
Oh,
little
I love
eggs? They have
them.
little
Oh,
eggs.
yes.
Yeah.
And then we get into the
But-
fun peeps. Look at that. These remember those? The gold.
The original
The gold
yellow
ones, the
Peeps,
yellow.
old kicking it old school. They're what started it all out, and they are still to this day my favorite. And it's so funny because the ones that don't have like a flavor to them, which I'm not a fan of the flavored Peeps. You don't mess it up with bubble gum or cotton candy or anything like that. I just like the pure
Not pickle peeps.
No, oh hey,
I just
Remember
still think
when we
they're
went through all
glorified
those-
marshmallow.
oh.
Knock him down. Take him out, Kathy.
Do we have a dump button on Charles? I love you, Charles,
do.
but come on. But you know, it's so funny because if I go back to what my favorite Peep is, it's just that original yellow little Peep.
Kathy, look at this.
But
one.
now we don't get Halloween Peeps. We don't get Christmas Peeps.
Kathy, do you see this?
What is that?
Oh my goodness, that was a parade. Look at how big those peeps are.
They're ginormous. I love them.
They're ginormous peeps in
I
like
love
a
them.
So
ship.
isn't there like there was like a Malcolm in the Middle episode where they were like, how many peeps can you eat?
Like put in your mouth at one time, or just
No,
eat
like
without going into
totally
without going
downing
into a
'em.
diabetic coma.
Right.
Yeah, you do. Okay, if Dr. Good is still watching, she's like, oh my gosh, why are they talking about Peeps? You know, that's one of those things. And I love it because when we talked about this the other day, and we were, you know, again, just brokenhearted because here's another, you know, victim of COVID. You know,
Right.
you don't have to have had the disease, the COVID illness to have been harmed financially, emotionally, you know, any job wise. And Peeps is one of those companies, and everybody who was chiming in from the crew had kids stories and adult stories about Peeps, and I just love that. Yeah, they're a part of Americana.
They are. Here's an army of peeps. That's the army.
That's great.
That
kind
fun?
that looks like winter is coming from Game of Thrones or something.
I know,
but with
doesn't it?
Peeps. That's hilarious.
They're a game. Well, you see what they're sitting on, right? They're sitting on the material that makes peeps. Isn't that kind of fun?
Which
so-
is magical unicorns.
It
That-
is.
That's
Oh.
what makes Peeps.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that what unicorn poop is?
Oh, did you see what Kevin said?
I haven't yet.
Kevin says the best way to eat them is not to buy them.
Oh,
Oh,
wah,
bah
wah, bah humbug.
humbug.
Now, how about this, Kathy? So Peeps decided to break out and start bringing in different holidays.
Yes.
I loved that. Did
Oh,
you
we
get
were-
your pumpkin Peeps?
Well, in the past, yes. And like I said, even at age 53, my mom still, you know, she still gives me and the kids, which is appropriate for the children, even though one's an adult and one's almost an adult now, but would still give us whatever holiday season it was. We would get the Peeps, according, you know, Christmas tree Peeps or, you know, pumpkin Peeps. And the kids know they just slide theirs on over to me.
You're hilarious. Our spooky friend Peeps.
Yeah. And see, and you're showing all stuff that won't be out this Halloween.
Well, I'm just trying to, get you reared up.
Yeah, but those are cute. Look how fun they are.
And then this is where the magic happens. The unicorn. Is that a unicorn's butt?
what?
Well, you said that unicorns
No,
make the
I don't know
peeps.
what is that? One of the vats? That
Yeah, that's one of the
stuff
vats.
comes out of.
Yeah.
That's
the blue peep.
I don't know that I need to see how they're made.
You
That's
mean
one of
like the
those-
chicken nugget from McDonald's?
Yeah, kind of like, I don't need to see the sausage. What is that? You don't need to know how the sausage is made or whatever. I'm like,
Jesus, Kathy. Why do you walk your way into that stuff?
I don't know. I've never seen Peeps being made.
Oh.
How have I missed like a Peeps documentary?
Now, see, these are white peeps getting ready to become blue peeps.
Okay. There you go.
So it's quite the peep.
There you go.
Do you know that peeps are a candy?
Well, no, duh.
But see, it's a marshmallow.
I mean,
though.
marshmallow and sugar. Oh,
Exactly,
it's not just
marshmallow.
It
So you just make
shut
them
it
into
down.
s'mores,
It is
right?
not. It is okay.
A peep s'more?
Y'all are gonna make me lose my mind. It is not
I
just
found my
a
favorite
marshmallow.
peep. I just found it.
Because ironically, I don't like marshmallows. I'm not a fan of marshmallows.
Okay,
There's
that's
my
not
favorite peep.
possible.
It's marshmallows sealed with sugar.
Of course, it is.
Clown zombie peeps.
Clown
That's-
zombie peeps.
Okay, now that is kind of funny.
Here we go. There's a whole family of zombie
that is
peeps.
funny.
Zombie apocalypse is hitting the
Zombie
peep world.
Okay, but those of y'all who are saying they're just marshmallows, I don't like marshmallows. Like if somebody's like,
See
"Oh,
if you
here's a
can see
bag of
those better.
marshmallows," I'm gonna be like, But marshmallows sealed in that sugar the way they are makes the marshmallow part of it different. So yes, it is a candy, no duh.
See,
but it is
I
not
would
a
have thought it was just
marshmallow.
marshmallow.
Nope. Oh, nope. Stop saying
But
that.
it is a candy.
Marshmallow.
Please stop saying
You know
it's
what I
just a
was hoping they would
marshmallow.
come out with? NFL peeps.
Oh, so we can boycott them?
Well, but I'm talking about before
Yeah.
before all the craziness, right?
You know what? I'm not so sure that I had not seen football peeps,
Now, I've
soccer
seen the
peeps,
football
basketball,
peeps,
things like that. I
but
think
not
we've seen
team
those.
peeps.
Like
Peeps.
like Dallas Cowboy peeps or something like
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that. Can you imagine a peep in a Speedo?
No, because
No?
that's
You can't
that's
imagine it?
inappropriate for peeps. No.
Oh, is that inappropriate?
yeah,
for-
peeps are underage.
I don't know. They're
I
kind
don't
of
like
they're
that.
kind of naked.
Let's
They
not
need
get
to-
into the Netflix. Oh, which we need to
Oh,
talk
hey,
about.
easy. Let's
We
not,
need to
yeah,
talk
we're
about
not-
that next
mm-mm.
week.
Well,
You
next
know what
week.
show
not-
I'm talking
Yeah, but
about.
not today. No.
Woo!
So
We need the whole hour and a half just to talk about that next week.
right. So Ron Baker says, I remember the homemade popcorn butterballs on Halloween.
Oh, I
How about
remember
this one?
those. And we will.
that one.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Where is that even a peep?
No, I just
have
was trying.
joined
No.
my peeps. I've joined my peeps.
I was clowning around.
Oh,
Charles, I
Bud.
joined my peeps, Charles.
How is that even a peep?
It's a peep.
I don't see it. I don't
no,
It's
it wasn't.
a
It was.
peep.
I just happened
no.
to find it. I was searching
Okay.
for clown peeps and I couldn't find it.
Of course you were, Charles.
But I found the zombie peeps.
No, and I do like zombie peeps.
Yeah,
zombie
I
peeps,
like
I-
clown peeps.
I'm okay. No, and I hear you talking with a mask on. You notice
Am
I'm
I?
not. I am not.
Well,
yep,
Charles doesn't have me on the
as-
camera, so I'm wasting this whole
as
visual.
Oh
long
wait,
as you
Here we
are
go. Where are we?
muffled,
Where are we?
I'm
There
visual.
we
as
go,
long
there
as
we
you
go.
are talking in a muffled voice, I will be doing this with my hand.
See, now Lee says, spit out, JP. Michelle says, it's like saying you don't like meatloaf, but eat meatballs and hamburger patties and armadillo eggs.
Oh, with me saying I don't like marshmallows?
Right.
No, there's something that happens in the process of a peep becoming going from being a marshmallow to a peep. The marshmallow stuff is not as fluffy; it's more dense.
Okay,
But
he's
it's
got
more
the mask off.
it's more soluble than a marshmallow. Okay, thank you.
So
He's gotta
Mar-
hold it
Look-
inside
look
out.
what-
Marvin
Next to
says,
you.
if they made Dallas Cowboys anything, all I can say is Target practice time.
You know, that's a really nice
Oh, look,
Post magazine
that's a nice
picture.
Post
Oh.
magazine picture.
No, that's not. That has nothing to do with peeps.
So,
Halloween.
oh, check this out.
That's
Michelle
too
says
Halloween.
peeps and microwave.
Oh yes, they
Oh.
grow like 3, 4, 5 times their size.
Does she? How long? Because you
15
wouldn't want it to, like,
seconds,
explode.
like-
Yeah, don't do it for more than
Yeah,
30
you wouldn't
seconds.
want it
You'd be
to, like,
cleaning up all
explode.
that
That'd
mess.
be bad news bears.
That'd be nasty and gnarly.
That would be bad.
So, and then Kathy called Kevin a cupcake.
In no way are we
did I call
suggesting
him a cupcake?
I think you called him a
for
cupcake.
your safety. In
If
no
I
way
was
are we
Kevin, I'd be
suggesting
offended.
You do that.
HR harassment.
We are not suggesting you put
HR.
peeps in your microwave.
So tell us your peep story. Send in on our social media. Go to either
such a mess.
Facebook at JP Kathy and the Crew, or go to
YouTube.
our YouTube page,
Yes,
which
we need
is.
subscribers. We got a lot of subscribers last night. We got like 13 or 14 new subscribers last
But
night.
then we lost 2 this morning.
Why?
I don't know. I don't understand
Because
how that
it-
happens.
It was me and JP and not a bunch of cute kids.
Did
from
you watch the Punchline Players last night?
I did. That was hilarious.
Yes, and they are.
That was
We
crazy
need them to be
talented.
peeps. We need
That's like our
peeps from them.
That's our
They need to do a
Thursday
I
Night
want-
Live, right?
I want them to do a peeps, a peeps,
Ooh, a peeps experiment.
like a no or like
peeps experiment.
a peeps
Segment.
little routine or segment,
Like a Saturday Night
skit,
Live
a
segment
skit,
or
a
something.
skit. That's what
A
I'm looking
peep
for.
skit.
Skit.
Yeah, what are
Ooh.
peeps
Those-
thinking
those-
when they're sitting there on their shelf
Those,
waiting to be
those
got?
kids are
Right? What are
talented.
they? You know they're talking. I watch Toy Story.
Yeah, those. Kids
Oh yeah,
are,
I know
know
they talk.
When
Those
you
kids
turn
are
your back,
totally
Kathy,
talented
those
and
peeps
totally
are running
cute.
around.
They are.
I'm okay with peeps doing that.
But they're zombie
but I'm
clowns.
not okay. I'm not okay. You know what else runs around when the lights go out? And I'm,
Dolls.
yep. And that's number 2 for me.
Dolls.
Clowns, dolls, and
Dolls.
then ventriloquist dummies.
So Gail Meeks.
You have all 3 of those in a movie, and Kathy,
And you're good.
Somebody called 911.
Gail Meeks said that they are darling the punchline.
Yes,
they were. They were
just
great.
we agree, Gail. They were phenomenal.
In fact, I was like, "Where's more? Where is there not
we
another
could watch
30
it for another
minute
30 minutes.
segment?"
They were fantastic. And those kids, a lot of those kids, they produced, wrote, edited all of their own stuff. I love Crystal's Corner, where she'll each week talk to another one of her kids from Creative Arts for Christ. What talent!
Oh, absolutely.
Wow,
Very much so.
wow, just so great.
Well, the key is that we've got family entertainment on JP Kathy and the Crew Network, where you can sit down with your kids and watch an entertaining show that you know is going to be clean,
Yes.
is going to be funny, it's going to have a message in it, and you're not going to have to worry about somebody dropping their drawers or saying or cussing or
Well,
saying
it's
something
a show
crazy.
where your kids can tune in and they can see other kids having fun, being talented. And if they want to join the fun, they can get in touch with Crystal and be part of it. And I think it's so great because, something Crystal talked about on our show the other day, the theater world, the performing world has been traumatized by this. And
Yes.
and so she's, being the go-getter she is, has thought outside of the box, and she is, making it happen and letting these kids have their creative outlet in a safe manner. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, I do as well. I think it's an amazing
love
opportunity for kids. It's a great show, and looking forward to Thursday nights at 7:00 here on the JP Kathy and the Crew Network. And so excited about that, but also excited about the fact that we've got Lisa Chastain getting ready to come on here pretty soon.
Yes.
And talking about another show we may be rolling out. Not maybe, will be rolling out here on the JP Kathy and the Crew Network as well. I wonder if we can call peeps and have them make us. I'd be an adorable peep.
Oh, okay.
I would be.
If you don't say so yourself.
Oh, no, if I
All right,
won't,
so what
nobody else
color?
will. I mean, I might as
What
well.
color?
I think I'd like to be blue.
A blue peep.
Yeah, maybe a blue-yellow peep.
And what kind of eyes and stuff?
Oh, I want glasses.
You want glasses?
I want glasses.
What else?
I think I want a clown mask.
Ah, very good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Those are not available via Peeps. Those are not available via Peeps.
Now, this
Thank
is
you very
funny.
much.
Gail said they at least have a purpose if they made you poop.
Oh gosh. I don't think the Peeps have a purpose other than just being fun. And again, it's one of those things that everybody remembers, or the majority, I would imagine, of adults. They've got some kind of a Peep reference. That's one of those things where there's going to be other things that come along, other candy that's out there. People are like, but Peeps was something that was always in your Easter basket. If you're our age, if you're like 40 plus, they were always in your basket.
Yep.
When you were a kid.
Absolutely. Say good morning to Wilkie Vanna. She's joining us for the first time.
Good morning.
Yeah, there we
Good
go.
morning.
A new listener
we
there.
love our new members of the crew.
So let's see. Lee D says, "Hey JP, Terry is looking for a few managers, servers, and bartenders at the restaurants. If anybody is looking for a job,
Oh,
hey, post that
fantastic.
on the.
Please put a link to that.
Yeah, put a link on
Yes,
that there,
yes, yes,
Lee,
yes.
so we can get that out there to everybody.
Yeah, I've got the chat on the screen. So if you put that out there real quick, it'll show up.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get that out there as well. But yeah, I think we should have a Kathy and the crew kind of peep. Could you imagine what a
That would
Gail
be
peep
so
would
much
look like, and a
fun.
Michelle peep, and a Fred peep, and a
Oh,
Lee peep,
It would.
and
It would be
everybody
so
a peep
fun.
peep?
Everywhere, peep peep. Oh, McDonald.
No, how to peep. No, how to peep.
No. We're
You
gonna
got a
sing
peep
that
farm.
song, and we're gonna get shut down on Facebook. So
Oh, I know. We don't
sing
have
it.
rights to that. Yeah,
Zip it up.
zip
it
that up. So yeah, unbelievable.
Oh, we're a mess. We are just a mess.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I think that I'm not a mess. Not
We are-
at all. I'm
no,
not a mess.
No, it's all
You know,
fun and games
Charles,
until we bust out
you
It's
a
all
clown
you
mask.
fun.
ruined my opportunity for people
All
to
fun
see
and
the
games
excitement
until
going on in
somebody
the
busts
studio.
out a clown mask.
It's all fun and games
Hey.
until
I'm
somebody.
looking
Thanks to the crew. The crew got me the clown
Looking
mask.
away.
Until somebody.
I'm
The
looking
clown mask came from the
away.
crew.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
You could thank the crew.
How do I share my screen? Because I found part of a picture.
You
Did I-
didn't.
Okay.
You didn't get that set up because you weren't here early enough.
I know. We'll do it. Can I do it right now?
Yeah. Well, I gotta.
Do I share this
Yeah.
camera or do I share
Here we
this
go. No,
screen?
okay. Share the screen.
Okay. Because I've got part of. I think
Okay,
I
tell
told
me.
y'all the
Keep
other
going.
day. The Easter Bunny.
And you got to start.
Okay.
You got to say start.
The Easter Bunny always, even to this day, even the Easter Bunny and Santa still visit our home. Look,
Ooh,
here's
okay.
part of.
Now, what you want me to do it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Here's part of one of what
Second.
the Easter Bunny did one year for the
There we
kids.
go.
That's a picture. That's why, if you wonder what I was scrolling through looking for,
Peeps.
and I think this was the year that Santa. No, not Santa. Sorry, don't get your holidays mixed up. That the Easter Bunny also had orange chocolate covered strawberries that looked like they were in a carrot patch.
Orange.
So, anyways, the Easter Bunny does all
Orange
kinds of fun.
chocolate covered strawberries.
Yes. So instead
So
of
did the orange and the
chocolate-
strawberry got married together?
no, the chocolate was instead of like a white chocolate.
Yeah.
It was orange.
Oh, okay.
Like you know the little you can buy like
Because they have those oranges.
like orange lemon
The chocolate oranges?
No, I'll have to find that picture too. But this was like one of the things that the Easter Bunny left behind one year. Last year what did the Easter Bunny bring? And the Easter Bunny usually gets out of a wine glass gets to drink V8 and obviously has carrots left behind.
That sounds
but
like
yeah,
what we do
fun
for
times.
our for Santa. You know, you leave out milk and cookies.
Right.
Our Santa, he likes bourbon
Oh,
and cookies.
interesting. I love that. Okay, so Santa at our house gets queso, and then Krampus, who we took the kids to see years
Krampus?
ago. Yes, you know who I'm talking
I
about.
know.
Oh
who
yes, I
Krampus
love
is.
that. That was a
Well,
great show.
We asked him. What was that? Dark Hour, whatever that haunted house is, and it was one of those annual haunted houses, and you could go see Krampus. Krampus or Krampus? Krampus?
I think it's Krampus. I think it's
I
Krampus.
thought it's Krampus.
I
Anyways,
think it's
Crew,
Krampus.
what is it?
and
Krampus
so
or Krampus?
we asked him, what does he like? We're like, hey, Santa gets queso, and the reindeers get this oatmeal mix, and he said, Shinerbach and Cheetos. So now every Christmas Eve we leave out queso, reindeer oatmeal mix, and Shinerbach and Cheetos. So good times.
Good times. Charles, would you check out in the green room in the lobby to make sure our guest isn't here?
Sure, I'll check.
I want
Just
to make
one
sure they don't think they can't come in and be a part of this.
Oh.
You know, Kathy, I think we'll go ahead and flip segments here. Let's go ahead and talk sports for a little bit. We got a lot of Dallas sports to cover.
Yes.
You know, the Tampa Bay Lightning, sadly, I am
I
sad.
know you're bummed out, but
Fred, where are you? Be here with me, Fred.
I know you're bummed out, but we do. At least we know who the Stars know who they're playing. That's why I wore my ball cap again today.
But it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
See, you really did not want that to happen.
No, because they're wieners.
What?
I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that?
I know
You better
they've made
explain
the
that real
finals,
quick.
but they're wieners, though. I mean, they're Tampa Bay. Who has a hockey team in Tampa Bay? Bring on the New York
Well,
Islanders,
they
man.
do. And again, our buddy Rob, who lives in Florida,
Yeah.
he is his ultimate hockey championship dream has come true. Yet there will be no games played in Texas or in Florida. Poor Rob.
I know. Isn't
We
that
love
something?
you, Rob.
In Canada. Welcome to Canada.
We love you, Rob.
Well, I just, again, Dallas sports are on fire. So the Dallas Stars will face off with the Tampa Bay
Yes.
Lightning, and that will take place. Also, and again, don't forget, and I want to get on a conference call with my head crew members and see if we can't coordinate a visit down to the AAC.
That would be a blast.
That would be fantastic. And I think you've got a headset there, Lisa.
Got
Go
your
ahead and throw that
headset?
on there. But the Dallas Stars will take on the Lightning tomorrow at 6:30 for Game 1. And I would go onto the AAC website or the Dallas Stars website and see what they're doing down there. I know that it was free in the regular season and playoffs. I don't know what's going to happen with the championship game, with the Stanley Cup, but
Right.
I want to make a trip down there, and I want to watch the Stars and the Lightning go at it, for goodness sakes. How fun would that be?
I can't wait.
And pipe in-
We've got to at least make one game down there.
And pipe in our cheering.
Somebody help us out. Oh, because we'll be loud.
We'll be loud.
We'll be loud. You won't need fake
My
cheers.
poor television is like, if this guy yells at me one more time, I'm turning off. Because I'm not going to give the sound back to the people. I have to stop it, JP.
I don't like the piped in audience. I just
Yeah.
don't.
I'm not
like it.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the cardboard cutouts, any of that stuff. You know who I am a fan of?
John Payton.
Well, no duh.
No, you're a fan of John Payton.
No duh. And that's hashtag no duh.
I'm a fan of yours.
So I said hashtag no duh. That
Oh.
means obviously I am.
Well, no
Like,
duh, but I'm a
eye
fan of yours
roll,
too,
obviously
though.
I am.
No, but I'm a fan of yours.
Well, thank you so much. I'm
You're
a fan
welcome.
of Lisa Chastain,
Well, I
who
am
is
too.
about to start
Well, no,
a
hold.
show.
No, we got to hold for a second. We're going to keep
and we're
her
not going
with
to say
us.
the name of the show yet. We're going to keep that.
Well, we're
under
going to
wraps.
keep her with us.
Oh,
We're not letting her go till 9:00.
oh no, she's like, oh.
Yeah, we need to get her. We need to get her microphone hot. We want her opinion.
Is her microphone hot? See, test the microphone, Lisa.
Good morning.
Hey, there
Oh,
we
there she
Hey,
is. Wow, wouldn't
hey,
it be
hey,
amazing
hey.
how
Is there any way
things
you
work
can move
when
the
you turn
camera
them
back
on
where
and
we
stuff?
can see Lisa's beautiful face?
There we go. There we go.
Yay!
Great camera.
But now we
angle.
can't see JP.
Well, that's okay. We'll float.
Okay.
We'll float on
Charles
camera
is
angles.
like, I can only move so fast.
I only have 4 arms. So, all right, Lisa, Dallas Stars. Please tell me you're a fan.
I'm a fan.
Woohoo! Lisa gets to stay on
I'm
the
a
network.
fan, and I would love to go with you guys.
Oh, all right. There we go.
It would be a
I'm telling you,
blast.
AAC, here we come.
Yes, we need
Michelle's
somebody
already
from
said
the
it.
crew to bust a move, get a night, and we're going to get it on the calendar.
Yep. Michelle goes, let's do it, JP. And she goes, I can be loud. So
Oh, she
we've
can-
got to
I
have our
guarantee she can be
own,
loud.
social distancing, whatever they're doing, AAC
Well, we
screaming
can all-
section.
Can we social distance together?
Well, we can say we're family, we all live together.
Oh, God,
That
yes.
I mean,
All
you know.
50 of us.
All 50 of us. That's the way it can happen. Absolutely. All right. So you're okay. You can stay on the network now because you're a Stars fan.
Okay.
You could stay on anyways, but now we're really thrilled
Now
to do
we're really
so.
thrilled. So now let's talk a little bit about Dallas Cowboys. What a letdown. They lost to the Rams. They got into the red zone plenty of times, couldn't convert. And I'm doing this all from reading because I refuse to watch NFL.
Well,
this
and one
year.
of their
I'm
their
not doing it.
players, knelt. Poe, number 95, knelt, and I just can't do it. I can't do the kneeling. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
And a lot of fans can't. And this whole thing about supporting a movement. And I'm not even going to give the movement legs by mentioning the name. If it's not a movement for God, then we're God's team, for goodness sakes. That's
We're
why we have a
America's
hole
team.
in the stadium. No, we're God's team.
We used to be America's team. Remember in the 70s, like
Well-
you'd go to McDonald's and get the poster and stuff.
Right.
And now, we've got folks making political, and some people are like, well, just one person was kneeling. You know what?
One's
I
too
don't
many.
know. I don't need people shoving a political movement down my throat when I'm trying to watch the NFL and just kick back and enjoy some sports.
Well, it's bad enough I'm watching their commercials so they can pay their players.
Yeah.
I got to watch that crazy commercial. What's
Yes.
your take on that, Lisa? Where are you at on that?
I'm not doing it either.
Yeah.
We just, I just can't support it. So we just decided to take a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm even playing fantasy football this year.
Yes.
In fact, you got to join our league. Our commissioner, who's supposed to be working on the rules,
We're doing the
a Venture X Paper Football League. You remember Paper Football?
do.
the
I
notes
do.
that you fold
Yeah.
up. Yep.
They-
I'm going to try to one
Flick
day,
those.
when the show's maybe next week, one of us will play for 2 minutes. We'll have it all set up, and we'll play a 2-minute game of
Ooh, I wonder if we could get Michelle in here with her
Paper
KC
football.
jersey.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And then we get Chuck in here with some kind of jersey. See, we need to get jerseys. I've already got
well,
my
mine's
name.
not going to be in one of the NFL jerseys.
Oh,
I
mine
mean-
either. I'm having mine made. I've already got my name.
Well, I've got my T-shirt that Michelle and her girls made me last year, the Angry Unicorns. I still wear that T-shirt.
See,
I
and
love it.
You know what my team name would be?
What's that?
What?
Software Janitors.
Not surprised. Not surprised. You probably have an old floppy disk with a broom, right?
Well, it's that's just kind of what I do. I just clean up everybody's mess.
Well, that's
and
the truth.
technology and stuff.
I need him at my house.
Yeah. Hey, Pittsburgh War Rats. I'm gonna have a big old war rat on my
And that
chest.
was your fantasy football team.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah.
the Angry Unicorns was my fantasy
Yeah,
football.
could you imagine a warring rat? That's just
No.
nasty. Yeah, that's fantastic.
No,
So,
no thanks.
Cowboys play the Falcons on Sunday. I will not be watching. They play. The game time is 12 noon. Commentary out there amongst people are Cowboys aren't going to let the red zone misses that they had this last time happen again, and that they're going to convert those red zone opportunities.
Well, they'll have to if they
we'll
want to
find
win.
out.
It is what it is.
We'll find out.
But you know what's interesting, and JP, you and I talked about this offline. We've got a mutual friend who is the target person to watch the NFL. Lives it, breathes it, spends money on it. Who turned the games off the other day because basically it was a political commercial to oust President Trump. This person's a President Trump supporter,
Right.
and also said, "Hey, I'm not okay with my NFL players shoving it down my throat that they want to change in November. They can talk about it on their off time, but when it's game day, I just want to see the game."
Yeah.
And again, I am going to give a shout out to Dak Prescott because he did. He was very open and honest about his depression and his anxiety and the fact that his brother had committed suicide. And so he was really trying to create, and to me, that's who the NFL should have highlighted on Sunday. Somebody who was trying to highlight losing a family member due to mental illness. And somebody as strong and, as iconic as Dak Prescott, that he's out there saying, I'm suffering with mental illness issues. And it was kind of glossed over. That should have been the big message on Sunday.
Yeah.
It really should have been.
Oh, I agree.
Because I think you could have helped more people who are sitting at home depressed with issues, with substance abuse issues or abuse, spousal or child abuse issues. I think or somebody who was sitting there thinking about suicide. I think the NFL missed a chance to help their fans.
And I agree. I agree. Absolutely. So let's now shift over to the NBA, which is, in my opinion, no better than the NFL.
Oh, I gave up on them
Years ago.
way back.
Years ago. Well,
Yeah,
I did too. When Larry Bird and Magic Johnson retired, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, I gave
Those
them
were
more.
those were my guys.
And I'm really
Michael Jordan. Those were my guys.
Donachek, the young gentleman who I was like, I'd love to see what kind of numbers he puts up. 10 years from now, what will his history be? And you know what? Too bad I won't be watching.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. So, game 1, Miami Heat take on the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics lose game 1. They lose game 2. They play game 3 tomorrow at 7:30. Of course, I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm not watching the NBA either, so I have no idea. Of course, on the other side, on the Western Coast Finals, you've got Game 1. The Nuggets and the Lakers will face off today at 8 o'clock. And then Game 2 will be played on Sunday at 6:30. So we're going to have one of those 4 teams, two of those 4 teams, in the finals.
Don't they need somebody to play?
Yeah, they do.
It still works that way, right? Even during COVID?
I would be really curious to find out what their TV ratings are.
Well, I know ratings have been down. And it's interesting. People are switching to other sports venues, and a lot more people are watching golf, car racing, some of these ultimate fighting things. People are looking to other places for that sports outlet or sports entertainment, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. How about you, NBA? Given up on a
No.
long time ago.
It's gone.
Go
I'm gonna
Stars.
Stick with the Stars.
Go Stars.
Go
Yeah.
Stars.
And that's, Kathy and I have talked about the fact that the NHL is one of the only professional sports organizations that has not had a big COVID-19 freak out. You've heard nothing to very little about the NHL when it comes to COVID-19, number one. Number two, they're not wearing Black Lives Matter jerseys. They're not painting the ice Black Lives Matter, because then why aren't you painting the ice for every other political issue?
Organization out there.
An organization that's out there.
Where's the pro-life movement?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're going to have you'd have the ice full of monikums and emblems and branding, from every walk of political life, for goodness sakes. And so, again, I think it's ridiculous. They should have stayed in their lane. Not a fan.
Well, and again,
But
so
the NHL did.
NHL did, and you're right. And so that's entertainment. That's that's excitement. That's what you tune into sports for. You go to a concert, you go watch a movie. You just like the kind of like the Oscars and some of those other award shows. My husband and I used to have parties. We literally had a red carpet that we rolled out, and we'd fix popcorn with the kids and everything, and have big fun. And we don't watch any of those shows anymore because everybody's trying to shove a political agenda down your throat.
Right.
I don't need that. I want to be entertained. I want to be swept away from day to day, 9 to 5 kind of stuff.
Well, and speaking about being swept away, do we have Dr. Dave? Because I'm ready to be swept away by his dashing good looks and and all of his wonderful intelligence.
Well, we have his picture up. There he is.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm driving the kids to school, so can't really do the
See now,
video today.
Dr. Dave, you need to hand that off to one of the kids and let them video you driving and talking to us.
I don't think his toddler is able
Lily
to.
can do it. She knows how to video.
Hey, Lily is sharp. I'm sorry. I can't believe that.
She's very
she'd love to
advanced.
drive.
She's very advanced, but I
we'll
don't
let
think we're
Lily
ready
drive.
for a driver's license
No,
yet.
we just want her to control the camera.
Give her the camera. Can you imagine how much fun we would have with Lily having the camera with Dr. Dave?
Oh my!
She knows how to FaceTime. Yeah, you get a big view of her eyes. Pretty much, she has it right up to her eyes.
Go, Lily. Well, Dr. Dave, we are in a time right now, and I'm talking about this month, and where we need people smiling. We need anxiety and depression to just melt away, and we need people to know that there's hope, that there's things that can be done, and so. Today's topic, I'm going to let you throw it out there. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, September is Suicide Prevention Month, and that's what is really important right now with what you're talking about in such kind of dark times is how we need to have this awareness of what's going on and how to prevent suicide, the risk factors, who's at risk, and what you can do to help. This is a big thing year after year. But this year, especially, we've seen a big increase on the attempts. Seen a big increase in depression. So I think it's a great time to really focus in on it. I think we've all probably known somebody who's either attempted or unfortunately completed or that might need help with depression and suicide. So, if you guys have any stories you want to share, before I get into, the specifics, that'd be great too.
Well, and I do have one. One of my dearest friends, when I was 18 and I got elected as judge, I hired him as my court coordinator. And he worked with me for, 5 years. And I had no idea the level of depression that he was battling. And I get a call. We in fact, we had a buddy that worked for MCI, if you can even remember that far back what an MCI even was. And we would go up to MCI at night and get on their network, and we would play Doom or we would play Command and Conquer or what have you.
All video games.
Right.
In case.
Computer
For those
games.
of us who are not video game savvy.
And so he met us up there. We played that night. He went home and put a classic pistol to his head and took his life. And just devastated me.
Any signs? I
None.
mean, when y'all look back?
No, I mean, he came, like I said, he was there. He was
heartbreaking.
fine. He was happy. We were playing video games. He said, good night. I'll see you. We were supposed to go play, or not go play, but go have breakfast the next morning. And
But to me, those are the worst. I mean, because you're always questioning what did I miss? What could I have done? And some people, it's just those are the most shocking, where they're zero warning signs, and sometimes you just never know what's going on inside somebody.
And I think, Dr. Dave, I think with suicide, the people, the loved ones, the friends who are left behind, I think that's always a question. Well, what did I miss? What was there? And you're right. Unfortunately, we do know. Everybody does have suicide stories. Maybe not in their family, but I know my daughter has known 2 individuals who have committed suicide. Somebody from her junior high, and then somebody who she knew while she was in high school. And and all of the friends that were real close and the family members, everybody was, their big question was, why? What did we miss? What could we have done? And especially, you know, and I'm so glad you brought this topic up, Dr. Dave. It's not an easy topic to cover, but during COVID, we know that suicide is at an all-time high. I've read on Facebook just in the last few days about teenagers who have committed suicide because of Facebook. People need to be around other people. That's just, we need our family, we need our friends, we need that circle, you know. And Lisa, you know what I'm talking about with that circle of friends and community. Thank you. That's what. Yeah, I knew Lisa would know exactly which word I was looking for. But you're right. And without that community, people are lost
right now.
Absolutely. And you know, we've talked about it recently that I've seen a huge increase in attempts and depression with the elderly population.
Yes. Yes.
One, you know, missing their family, and two, realizing that, you know, they, you know, might only have, you know, a few years left, even though they might be healthy. It's just kind of that perspective that, you know, it's at that time of your life, you think I could go at any time. They don't want to spend it locked in their house. So we've seen a lot of that. So, you know, really reach out to family members if you can that are elderly and check in on them, teach them how to use Zoom, teach them how to do things like that to help them kind of stay engaged.
Right. Or you know, I've seen, and I know our own Charles, who operates our board, has had to do where, you know, you go outside of, you know, the window of your parent or your grandparent or whoever you're visiting, and at least you can maybe see them through the window, or you do a party where everybody brings, you know, decorations and you celebrate, just something creative, you know,
signs.
Yes.
Something
Thankfully,
yeah.
Thankfully in Texas, the restrictions for nursing homes was lifted, I believe, yesterday or the day before yesterday. So now if you have somebody, loved one in a nursing home, you are allowed to go visit them. So that's great news.
Oh,
well,
that's awesome.
And some of the limits on group homes, because I've got a number of my former students who are in group homes. So those are starting to be lifted, because you're right. The elderly, so many of them count on, even if they don't have family or friends that visit them, well, you've got volunteers who come in and people who bring in like therapy animals and things like that.
Exactly. My daughter is a student nurse.
Right.
So she's been able to go in and spend time with some of the patients that maybe didn't have a family member that could come in and visit with them. And it's been a real treat for her to visit with some of these elderly people.
I bet so. You learned so much from the older generations. You really do. And well, good for your daughter.
Yes.
So she's got a good heart like you.
You know, Dr. Dave, you'd sent me an article, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Talk to me about the site, what they do, why that? Why did you choose to send me that site?
You know, I did a quick search on the month of September and what, you know, why they chose this month and why they really want to put it into focus. And that's kind of the organization that's behind the circulation of making September National Suicide Prevention Month. They do a good job of, you know, putting the risk factors out there, bringing it to the forefront, and telling people how to get help. So, you know, the biggest thing is really just to know, you know, again, the risk factors, and to keep it in mind all year, not just September, obviously. You know, just in the United States, a pretty shocking stat is that suicide rates have increased by 35% from between 1999 and 2018.
Wait,
so
did you
it's 35%. Yeah. From basically in the last 20 years, 35%. The article doesn't go into why, but I think we know. I think we know that, you know, social media has a huge role in that.
Yes.
There's you know, growing demands on our teens and even adults to be you know, to be popular, to be good looking, to look like somebody else, and there becomes a lot of body shaming with that, and personal shaming, and people can be, you know, one, they feel like they're not living up to expectations, feel like they're not good enough, and two, people can really be mean to people on these outlets. You know, we've said on the, you know, the past on the radio show that kids growing up, you know, we could at least go home at the end of the day and not have to hear things and not be bullied because we didn't have cell phones or computers. And now kids go home and they don't get a break from the bullying because they're hearing it on Snapchat and Instagram and text messages and there's group chats, and, you know, kids just do all kinds of really mean mean stuff, and there's never a break, and you're just getting that constant pinging of negative energy, and it really adds up.
Right. And then they have the other people who don't even know you, don't even go to your school, they chime in, and so you have kids from other schools, and all of a sudden you've got kids from 5 different schools saying horrible things to you. And I think about, like, back in the day, like, it was a big deal, like, if you went home on a Friday, and then Monday you came to school and you found out like 3 of your best friends went to the mall together, and you're like, oh gosh, I didn't get invited. And I remember not being invited and being upset on a Monday morning, but then that was it. And then it was, second period and you're on your way. Nowadays, you're getting you see on social media what you're missing out on because you didn't get invited to something. And, I think it would be so tough, and it is so tough. You know that you've got kids, Dr. Dave.
Sure,
it's
sure.
Really
Suicide
hard to be a kid nowadays.
is actually the 3rd leading cause of death globally for people the ages 15 to 19. So if that doesn't bring it into perspective,
there's also
nothing really will.
Another group that's a lot of times overlooked, and that's physicians, doctors. There is a tremendous suicide rate in doctors because of how they feel, because they're made to heal people, and when they can't always do that, there's a lot of times where they feel really bad. They're very empathetic people a lot of times. And I know you guys need a lot of our support, especially right now with everything that's going on. There's just a lot of extra stresses put on you all.
Oh my goodness.
And I just want to say thank you for one.
Yes.
But we really need to also, we tend to overlook them sometimes.
I think you're right.
No, you're right. There is a high rate. And for some reason in the back of my head, I remember hearing that one of the highest rates, the physician specialties is dentist, which I'm not sure why.
Orthopedics also, and I'm not sure why either. There.
Yes.
Interesting. Huh.
There's a lot of external pressures when it, besides the empathetic part, which you're right about and I appreciate, but I think just comes with the business and also the personalities of, the drive and, sorry, about to hear the doors close. The drive that comes with that.
A day in the life of Dr. Dave.
Bye bye.
No,
That's like, bye bye.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye bye.
She's saying bye, Haley. Say bye, Haley. Say bye, Haley. I don't know if you can hear her.
So sweet.
But, it's considered a global problem. Obviously, what I found interesting in reading about this, brushing up, was times where suicide can be highest. Now it can be after a celebrity commits suicide. They've noticed sharp rises in people killing themselves after they've seen a celebrity do it. It gets a lot of media attention. I don't really want to call it a copycat like we see with mass shootings. It's not really a copycat, but I think it kind of gives people that edge or push, seeing it, somebody, so prominent do it, that they feel like, it's,
like it's okay.
It gives them the motivation to pull the trigger. Go ahead.
They seem to have everything, and I don't have anything.
Yes.
So maybe that's
tough.
That's,
yeah, they
that's
don't, you
what it
kind of
is.
have that more hopeless feel. Well, okay, so Dr. Dave, if there is somebody who, and we want to put some resources on our site, and we want to continue talking about this throughout the month of September. If somebody is in need, who should they reach out to? If they don't feel like they can reach out to family or friends, who do they reach out to?
The biggest thing is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline number.
Okay.
I don't have that in front of me again because I'm driving, but it's very, very accessible with a quick Google search.
Okay.
If you're ever worried that somebody, is in immediate harm, call 911. They're very, very experienced at this, and don't feel like they're going to be mad at you. And that you might do something wrong if they don't actually do it. I think most people, when they calm down, realize that you're acting out of their best interest. But once 911 gets involved, they do a really good job of assessing the situation and not really leaving it to that person has gotten somewhere. But, I encourage all kinds of different things, between talking to family and friends and loved ones, to meditation, to obviously therapy. There's so many different resources out there, but the Suicide Prevention Hotline is really, really good. They're open 24/7 to talk to people and can help you with local resources, check in on you after that, and really kind of provide you with an outlet to begin to get help.
Well, and I think you're right. better safe than sorry in a situation like that. I would rather somebody think that I overreacted because I love them so much than me always wonder, wow, if I would have just made that call to 911. And then Lisa just gave me a link to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, so I'm going to put that on our feed. Share that with friends and family. And if you think you've got anybody who's in need or who might be in trouble, again, better safe than sorry. You don't want to wonder, wow, what if
I just put the number up on the screen
Oh,
too.
perfect. Thank you so much. What happens if I would have made that phone call or reached out to them or just let them know? And I think, Michelle was saying and Gail was saying on the feed that, just touch base with the people you love, especially the ones who, because of COVID, aren't coming out and about, and maybe somebody you haven't seen in a while. Ask if you can FaceTime them. Say, hey, let's do a FaceTime happy hour, a Zoom happy hour, or let's do breakfast or watch online church together via FaceTime or Zoom or something. I think we have to be a little more creative and a little more proactive since we're not all around each other like we usually are. Does that make sense?
It does. And so, Dr. Dave, to kick off your topic today and to support the movement for the month, I have gone ahead and I've created a donation page on my Facebook page.
Excellent.
That'll go
Cool.
directly to the American Foundation for
Excellent.
Suicide Prevention. And all I'm asking for is to raise $200.
Love it.
$200
Love it.
can go a
Yeah.
long way.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that when I get home.
And
Love
so
Some of the that's really great of you, JP.
I love
thank you.
that.
I'll share that when I get home
I
too.
was wondering what you were up to over there.
I was doing
I've
that.
probably
It was
lost
quiet.
4 people this year, knowing from suicide. Not close friends, but friends. And what I can say as a big warning sign for 2 of them was alcohol. If you notice somebody with a sharp change in alcohol or drugs, then you really got to keep an eye out. Military, ex-military is a huge risk factor. Drugs, alcohol, and loss of a job or a recent divorce. One friend kind of had the perfect trifecta. He was ex-military, lost his job, started drinking a lot, and saw the warning signs, and I tried to help, and the drinking got worse and worse. And JP, this was in the place that we both lived in the past. Was found hanging
oh, wow.
in the middle off one of the balconies one morning. And when I saw a bunch of police out in the morning, I had a sinking feeling in my gut, like, oh man, I think that was my friend. I'm not going to say his name. And that's when you see somebody spiraling like that, and even then try to intervene, and you have the thoughts, maybe I didn't do enough, or there's so many things. So yeah, you can never do too much, I think, to really help somebody that's at risk. But just know that those risk factors are real, and half of all suicides are completed by firearms. So that's another big risk factor, is somebody who might have those problems inside, fighting those demons inside, and have access to a gun. You really, really have to take care and worry about those people.
Well, and another thing, and this is something that I have been a part of for a long time, is veterans who come back and are just so overwhelmed from what they experienced across the ocean, and they take their lives. And I've been a part of organizations that have helped try to prevent that and try to intercede with PTSD, because it's a real thing.
Well, 22 kill. I mean, that's that's around for a reason. And sadly, since that organization, that nonprofit has formed, the number of veteran suicides a day has increased. And I think you're right. During COVID, look to somebody, if you know somebody who's lost a job, has had loss of income. Even I've got some friends who are battling some significant depression, some who have already dealt with mental illness, some who never have, because they're stuck working from home and they don't have a place to go. That's why we always talk about Venture X. Even if you just want to get out of the house for a couple of hours a day or something, they've got an affordable plan for you so you can come up here and work. It just that changing your scenery.
Your atmosphere.
Your atmosphere, I think, and especially people, you've been cut off from maybe, you're somebody who you went and watched, sporting events at the bar with your friends on the weekend, and you also went to church, and then you had like a Wednesday night get together with friends, and you went to your office every day, and all of a sudden you're 24/7 in your home maybe in a makeshift office because you don't have the luxury of having a home big enough to have an office. That's just too much.
The depression can start to set in. And I think this is a critical time where we can connect with our friends and our loved ones. You know, if we're pushing the NFL to the side for a minute, you know, you have a couple of hours just to reach out and say, hey, I'm just checking on you.
Yep.
How are you doing today?
Yep, exactly. And that might be the phone call, the text, the FaceTime that saves somebody's life.
Absolutely.
And
That's
some
why-
of the people who appear the strongest are the ones who are the most in need.
That's why we created the positive person experience, because it's so critical that we be that positive person for someone, because they just, you know, look around for people that you don't normally see or that are typically always being out there, and but they're not maybe they're shy. Some people right now during the isolation, they like it because they're introverts, right? But then there's those that they need some personal connection.
I think and Charles, I agree. But even if you are an introvert,
you still need,
you know,
just reach out to them.
And it may be a small
see.
group of people.
Well,
so I think
Dr.
Lisa's
Dave and I
right.
are
Take those
introverts.
extra. Oh yeah, okay, okay. As I commencing eye roll, you know, I think my eyes got stuck in the top of my head. I rolled my eyes. So hard.
We're closet introverts.
Okay, y'all are very closeted.
There's
What
one
do you think,
thing.
John? Are you coming out, John?
There's one of
As a
well,
closet introvert?
that's a good segue to the last thing I want to cover. Actually, I wouldn't be able to really, you know, sleep at night if I didn't cover this last part. It might not be the most comfortable part, but the LGBT community is at a very, very high risk, and they're the ones who are escalating the most. Accept it or not, they are people with feelings,
Right.
and
Yes.
you know, and it's not the actual how do I say it? It's not the sexuality or gender identity that leads them to suicide or depression. It's the experiences, the discrimination, the prejudice, the isolation, family rejection that, you know, increases their risk. So, you know, the LGBT young people who reported high levels of family rejection during adolescence were 8.4 times more likely to have an attempted suicide.
They just want to be loved, just like everyone else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what they're.
Love and
That's,
acceptance.
that's
At
what
the
they're
end of the
starving
day,
for, and
yeah,
that's what they think
you're-
they can't get.
We're all human beings, and we all, you know, we're created in Christ's image, and we need to be there and love each other. You know, I'm glad you did mention
Everyone
that, Dr.
matters.
Dave. Thank
Everyone
you.
matters.
Thank you.
And I'm leaving that suicide prevention hotline number up on the rest of the show on the bottom of the screen.
Perfect.
So, but when someone can post it on our feed, it will update it in our description. But yes, it will. Yeah, everyone matters. Don't feel like you don't
Absolutely.
matter,
Yeah.
because you do matter.
Dr. Day, we've had some people share some stories. One is that a young man who was the ring bearer in my wedding took his own life by gunshot to the head. He lost his job, lost the girl, and had other issues, but he made a post on Facebook, and by the time anyone read it and showed up to his apartment, it was already too late. And so, you know, and there's more stories up further on the feed, but that was the last one to come up. And I mean, geez, Dr. Dave, what do
Have you
you
guys
say?
heard about the Facebook Live one that happened, I think, in the last week?
No, I didn't hear
No.
about that.
It was really big. I found out about it by Haley, and then researched it. But Haley's my 13-year-old. You know, they're the ones all over social media. Apparently, there was a guy.
My kids bring me
who,
those stories. Yeah.
He was live and was talking about how he's going to kill himself live, and there was thousands of people viewing, and they had called 911. And right as the police broke through the house, he pulled the trigger and murdered himself in front of thousands of people on Facebook Live. It was shared all over YouTube and TikTok, and it kept getting taken down. It was very, very, very graphic, and happened live. It's unbelievable.
People are hurting. So just, you know, and again, Dr. Dave, we always thank you. We appreciate you. And we know you've got a huge job with the people you take care of, and then also being a dad, and you do a phenomenal job of all of that. And we do appreciate you taking time every week to come on our show. The crew loves you. We love you, Dr. Dave. So God bless you.
Well, thank you.
Tell
Thank
your
you.
colleagues we
No
appreciate
need
them
to
too.
thank me. I enjoy it.
Well, but we need to
wanna
have
help.
Lily in charge of the camera.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
asking for that next week.
You gotta stop
gonna-
hiding.
Uh,
No
we're
more
asking for
hiding.
that next week.
We're gonna let her say hi right now because I just got pulled in.
Oh, just a
So,
second.
wait, let me flip this phone around. Hold on a second.
Hi,
I'm gonna
Lily.
cover my face.
Oh,
That's what I do.
let's
Say
cover my
hi.
face. Hi, Lily. Hi.
Say hi.
Hi, Lily.
Can you see her?
Look at that smile.
Lily.
Hi,
Hi. You're on.
Wave
You're
to
on
them.
JP Kathy
Hi.
and the crew. Hi.
Tell me you ready to go to school?
Oh, sweet.
Are you
And then
ready to
we're
go to
going-
school, Lily?
We're going on a plane later to see my older one at Tech.
Oh,
And we found out she has to wear a mask
fun.
at 2 years old.
Wow.
Are you gonna wear a mask? Yeah. we'll
Yes.
see.
Does she have a cute mask like me, Dr.
No,
Dave?
don't show it. Don't put it out.
I've got a cute mask,
It is
Dr.
cute.
Dave.
I think hers has
Hers probably
donuts
is
and
cute.
ice cream
That's
on it.
kind of creepy.
We've got a
It
clown.
is.
Does she like clowns?
It is because I've got that clown phobia. Yes. We love you, Dr. Dave. We love you, Lily. Y'all
Thanks,
be safe
guys.
and have a great
Lily, hey,
weekend.
Lily, tell Dad that vacation is not Lubbock.
Right?
It is
Tell
when he's
Dad
going
it's
to
here,
visit
okay?
his daughter.
Tell Dad Hawaii.
Oh, he's going
Yes,
to visit his
exactly.
daughter.
I
That's
need to
the
teach
best
you the word
vacation.
Hawaii, Lily. Say Hawaii, Dad.
Uncle
says-
Uncle JP is gonna take you there.
Yeah, Uncle JP will take you there. Dr. Dave and I are going to hit the
We
beach
love you, Dr.
with
Dave.
Lily. Bye, Lily.
All
Have a
right,
good
talk
day.
to you guys later.
All
Bye.
right. Take care, Dr. Dave. That's
Bye.
Dr. David
So
Derrigan,
sweet.
our emergency room doctor, who really, I mean, this guy at Trauma 5 or level 5 trauma doctor, he pulled his weight over at, I'm drawing a blank, the hospital in Dallas. Help me out.
Parkland?
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. Parkland Hospital, working the triage and trauma unit.
He's a great guy.
There, super smart, runs ERs now all over the country.
Yep.
It was funny when I was in Phoenix helping my dad. He was at a hospital in Phoenix. He was flying in, and I go, so if I'm sick, should I go to that ER? He goes, no. He goes, I don't know if I can fix them. I'm just like, okay, I know where to stay away from. But no, we want to thank Dr. Dave for all he
Yes.
does, and we love the fact that he brings Lily on the camera.
Well, you know,
Makes the
that's-
day a little happier.
and that's our reality, you know, and that's one of the reasons we've got Lisa here today. Our reality is we juggle a lot of plates in life, and you do have to worry about things, suicides out there, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, spousal abuse, people who are losing their faith because of tough times, and we've got Lisa Chastain in here with us, and we. She met us and we just all hit it off so much and we liked her so much that she is going to have a show, and actually she and I are going to be co-hosting a show together. We're not going to say the name of it yet because that'll be a big reveal next time you're on, but it's a show about Texas women and about faith, and let's talk about that, Lisa.
Okay, it's really just about doing life with each other.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
exciting can that be, especially during this time?
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I think that we're going to give some hope to some women. You know, maybe they're at home,
Right.
working, trying to be in their offices, working at the same time, trying to homeschool,
Yeah.
get dinner together, do laundry.
Do everything you're
it
expected
just-
to do.
It's overwhelming from time to
Right.
time. So, yeah, let's just do life together and answer some of those hard questions. And, you know?
And what I love is Lisa is obviously a woman of faith. We both are, and you rely heavily on your faith, and so that's what we're going to be bringing to. We're going to be asking our guests, and we're going to be asking the women who tune into our show, how does your faith get you? I mean, really, kind of nowadays. Obviously, you know, everybody tries to plan ahead and all this kind of stuff. You plan a week ahead, you plan 10 years ahead, all these different things that go on in a woman's head and heart, because that's all attached together. We can't separate our
Absolutely.
head from our heart. We just can't. Women can't do that. And I'm glad we can't. I'm glad. I'm good with that. But nowadays, it's kind of, how are you getting by day to day? And we're going to ask, how does your faith get you through the day and get you to that next day?
Yes. I mean, we wake up in the mornings, you know, just have our time in devotional every
Right.
single morning, and we start off in a good place, but it only takes that one phone call or that one email or text
right.
message, and you know, then we have a shifting. But how do we stay in that good place even through that shifting or those hard times? So
You're right, because it sometimes with women it takes one, just it can take a text going the wrong way. Goodness, my poor husband, I said something last night and he took it the wrong way when I was just asking were the dishes clean or dirty. And then I don't know what, if something snapped in my head. And I just had to I had to pull myself out of that. So that's really where we are right now. And this is going to be something I know you talk heavily about on the show, but I wanted you to know that something you said to me inspired me so much that when I saw a girlfriend of mine who was really struggling last weekend, I told her what you had talked about. And what is that? You can't worry.
You cannot worry and worship. So they don't go hand in hand.
Right.
So when you find yourself in those difficult places, if you'll just turn on some worship music, your focus will begin to change. And then you're going to be in a good place because you changed that environment. You shifted where you were at that very moment.
Right.
And so now you've brought yourself back to a good place of being able to carry on your day, do exactly all the things that you need to try to accomplish in your day. And you know what? If you don't accomplish something in your day, it's not the end of the world.
It's okay.
Have some grace on yourself.
And women, we're the worst
we're the
at that
worst.
because
We're the worst.
I had 10 things or I had 75 things to do today on my checklist and I only got to 3 of them.
Yeah, but you may have 3 children that came up in the midst of that.
Or you might have helped, an elderly parent or a friend in need, or you may have had an extra work project thrown on your plate that day.
Right.
I think that's another thing. Women have got to give themselves more grace.
More
We just
grace.
don't.
More grace. We need
We
that.
don't. But I
So
wanted
it's
you to
already
know-
started.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it
No,
has.
I see.
When's it happening? People are already asking, when's the show going to air?
The first week in October. Yes. So we're real excited about it.
They're
and,
wanting to know what day and time.
Well, we are working on that.
We're working on those fine
We are
details.
working
I mean,
on that.
you're doing this big reveal, and they're like, Elizabeth, right off the bat, she's like, okay, what day, what time?
Well, and we're going to encourage you to share this with your church friends, and here's the thing, we're both of Christian faith. This is for women of all walks of life. Or if you're somebody who has never had faith or never believed, or maybe you've lost your faith because of some tragedy or something
hurt.
hard or pain in your life, you're right. And we're going to be real honest when we talk about that. And that's why I wanted to
Absolutely.
make sure you knew that just from a conversation you and I had, and you're always talking about you can't worry and worship. Said that to a girlfriend of mine, and tears started falling down her face, and she's like, I needed that. So
Yeah,
thank
absolutely.
you. You've
We
already
all
made a
do.
difference
Well, good.
in someone's life, and we haven't even started the show.
Yeah, and someone was said that, is there going to be a guy's version of that too, maybe?
I already threw it up there. Said there'll be a guy's version, a men's
Funny that
version.
you
Let's
say
go.
that.
There will be, but
There
we're not
will
ready
be.
to reveal
No,
yet.
okay.
We got big plans. Plenty
Infant
plans.
stages.
Here's the key. The key is it's time to uplift again.
Absolutely.
Yes, be
And-
positive.
Time to
And
come
hope.
together, do
Positive person.
community, have hope. I want to focus on restoration. Let's restore
I love
ourselves
that. Yes.
back to the way we once were.
Yes.
And so, yes, I'm looking
I
forward
love that.
to some new life together.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and maybe
Amen.
even better than before, because I think if you learn how to rely on your faith, and especially some of the things like you've already mentioned, I think that you can get yourself back to a better version of yourself.
Absolutely. And when you're in the better version of yourself, you have more to give.
Yes.
So,
And women are
We're
this is why
gifted at that.
God designed women to be givers by nature.
Yes.
That we're nurturers. That's how we are. And another thing we need to talk about on this show, and we will, but Lisa and I, sometimes we sit in studio just for an hour, just chit-chatting, and so this is going to be a fun conversation once you join us. But the thing is, if you're not able to take care of yourself, you got to take care of yourself. We've got to also give each other permission to take care of ourselves.
right. Yourself has to be important because, when your spouse comes home from work, or if your spouse is in an office in the house with
Right.
you while you're working,
Right.
right? We need to, how are we going to pour into them?
Right.
When we come together and we're one, then we're able to accomplish more.
Right.
So,
That's so
I just
true.
want to focus on being our best yourself.
Yes, and using God as that guiding force for
Absolutely.
that. So yeah, well, we can't wait. We can't
Well,
wait. to
there's
start
already
the
been
show.
commentary about I could use this in my life coaching classes, and so
Love it.
again, this is going to have a huge impact
Well, we're
across the
very
board,
blessed.
and very excited to be able to push this out on JP, Kathy, and the Crew
Thank you,
Network.
JP.
And so, just love the idea.
You know, I had some good positive person. Are we gonna say
You
our
are
positive
killing
person
me with
experience?
positive person experience.
Well,
you
I
are
thought-
killing
you're
me.
ready
You
for
told
yours
me
today.
earlier this week we were going to say bring your positive person experience.
We ran out of
for
time.
the show.
We ran out of time.
Well,
Oh,
Charles has one. Though.
Charles can share
Yeah,
I have
he's
a
got
good one. I have a good one. There's a friend of mine.
He's got a good one.
he does.
He's got his. He's at Christian Brothers Automotive up in Little Elm,
Little Elm.
right?
Oh yes,
and
yes.
he
Give a plug.
partnered with an organization called Loretta House, and they help women who are pregnant that need help. And one of the things he is doing, and I put it up on the screen, and I'll maximize it too here on the other screen, but is that for, and you know I'm pro-life. So for the 40 days for
We all,
life,
just so for the record, we
We
all
all
are.
so for the 40 days for life, which I think it says it starts on September 23rd through
Yeah,
the
that's
40
coming up.
days
Yep.
for the entire through November 7th. You give any donation, any amount, and he will give you a free oil change.
Oh.
That's worth a
So
drive
anyone,
out to Little
especially
Elm,
those
even
that
if
are
you don't
struggling
live
right
there.
now.
Aubrey, Texas.
Love it.
At
Okay,
26746 East
Oh,
University,
I'm blocking some.
Aubrey,
Love it.
Texas.
Love it, love it, love it.
Let me.
September 23rd through November the 1st.
And
That's
that's what
right.
ministry is about.
Yes.
And let me
Amen.
take that off.
So
for
that's a
second.
great,
Take that
positive
off.
We love that. And
person
that's a good way to end
experience.
the
And
show
so-
today.
It's a
That's
great way to
great
end
guy.
the show.
Note.
He's had a kind of a career change, and he took this on because of their Christian Brothers Automotive and their whole culture.
Yep.
And it's a completely. He's in customer service before, and now he's doing this, and he says it's completely different type
But
of
it's
customer service he was doing
service
before.
to the
People were
nth
coming
degree. Yeah.
to buy things, and now they're usually when you're at an automotive place for repair, it's usually because you're not there by choice.
Love
And
it.
so for oil changes, you get a free oil change. He great guy, great family.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, that's fantastic. Well, let him know that we were able to give him a plug and that he was our positive person experience of the day.
Of the day.
Oh, of the week, really.
Well, true.
We love it.
Of the Monday,
we do
Wednesday,
those
And
on
we
Fridays.
love the crew. Y'all have a blessed weekend. We cannot wait to see you on Monday.
Hey, don't forget to tune in Sunday, 8 a.m.
Oh, yes, to
Ask Dr. Be
Ask
Good.
Dr. Be Good.
And this
Great
is going to be
show.
a great one. You know why, don't you?
Oh, because you're on it.
Because I was on.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there
hey,
you go.
John.
Yeah.
JP's going to
Can
be
you
on
point
Dr.
above
Good,
your
so
head
there
and
you
tell
go.
everybody go there?
No, okay. Go there.
Go there to
Go.
Linktree.
Go.
right?
Go.
Go to
there.
Linktree.
Yeah, we want you
Right
to
above
link
your
tree.
head.
Hey, go on there,
pointing the
subscribe to our YouTube page, or like us or follow us on our Facebook page as well. Go to Linktree; it's the easiest way to handle it, and it's right there.
And we're going to be doing something new with our Linktree.
We
that
are.
I am
I'm
going
excited.
to talk to you.
We're going to
I
be giving
did not
away
know
punch
that.
and cookies.
Oh, okay. And
We're going to
with
ship you a
that-
basket of brownies. Oh, yeah, we're really not.
And with that.
We're really
Oh,
not.
we love you, and please go out and share with people if you think somebody's hurting. Please get
And
them
Brenda
the
Scratch
information.
Golfer says, "Good morning, Judge and Kathy."
Good morning.
Good morning, Brenda.
Why? Well, make sure that if you think somebody is in trouble, better safe than sorry, give them the number and the information and the link to the suicide prevention hotline. We're going to be pushing that all month, and just really want to make sure we all take care of each other.
Miss you, Brenda. Take care, girl.
Have a blessed weekend.
Have a
Love
blessed
y'all.
weekend. We'll see you
Mwah.
on Monday.